There you go.
You're live, Brian. You're
Hello.
live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Every Ghost Paranormal Stories with
Every voice.
myself, Every Voice, with
You
your
always
host,
messes that
Brian's
up.
Paranormal and
Oh,
Ghost Mafia. Tonight, we have a special guest with us. We've got Exploring with Murad on, and he's going to explain a bunch of stuff that has went on. Um,
Mm.
and we'll get touching base with him. So, Murad, how did you come across the paranormal?
Well, honestly, I never used to believe in it years ago, but I end up I ended up moving into this house that the people got murdered in, and the owner, when I rented this house, the owner never told me about it.
Yeah.
So I was sitting there one night, and no joke, I was sitting there watching TV. I had a Pepsi can sitting next to me. Somehow it went flying off the table onto the floor, and I thought it was me, and I'm like, how did I do that, so of course I
Yeah.
had to pick it up, clean it up and all, but I try to debunk it, like, hitting the table and everything. I could not get that soda can to move. So I just thought, maybe I did something and didn't remember. Maybe I smacked it and didn't remember, so I didn't think nothing of it. So the next night I went to bed. Well, I wasn't really in bed, I was half asleep, and
Yeah.
just something woke me up. I sat right up, looked at the edge of the bed, and no joke, there was this, like, it looked like black smoke figure, like just hovering right there. And right when I looked at it and said, "Hey," it just like disappeared. So I mean, I just couldn't explain it, but the only thing I can think of is I'm seeing things in my head. You know what I mean? And it's not really there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was actually the beginning of it, where I was just like, okay, well, I got to see if it's all in my head or is this stuff real. And that's what actually started me into the paranormal.
That's awesome, man.
nice. Oh, we got Hell's House Paranormal out there. HSFL's in the house now. We got
Hey,
Walker
John.
Paranormal out there. Lisa Donaldson, Nature's Beauty, Sandra Bennett, Walker. Yeah, I said Walker family, didn't I?
Dennis 84.
Yep, Dennis 84, Battle Droid. People
Nice.
are starting to roll in now.
Oh, yeah, we got Elliot.
10. Yep, 10 watching. They're just now starting to filter in. So
Oh, yeah.
Guys, make sure you're tweeting this out and sending this on all your social media.
Yeah,
hey
like
guys, we definitely need to touch on a little bit of what happened last week on EVPs and let everybody know exactly what went down behind the scenes too. Uh,
yes.
Literally last week I shut it down early because we had so much activity going on. There was people getting choked, people getting scratched. Lou Rock come violently ill in the middle of the stream. In fact, he was so ill that afterwards he's like, "Did I even make it up on your stream? Because I don't even remember being on there." And I was like, "Yeah, you even came back and told us you was sick. We said told you to go cleanse." And
Yeah.
yeah, it got crazy. We ended the stream for everybody's safety, and it continued even in the private call afterwards. Um, my wife got the it looked like somebody stuck their hand in the middle of their back in the middle of her back and just clawed like this. Jojo had scratches on her. You could actually see Gemma was on the stream with us, and she had a welt form on camera.
Yep.
You could actually see the welt go down her face on camera, like somebody was just sitting there going with their fingers,
Just
and
scratching her
nobody was
face.
touching.
Yep.
Yeah, it went down her cheek from her ear and then continued down her neck.
Wow.
So we had everybody on there. We was doing St. Michael's prayers and everything, and finally the activity started calming down. And you know,
It was bad.
so
Like,
yeah, it got crazy last week, guys. And I thought about doing another session because we did shut it down short last week over the weekend, and I decided against it because I didn't want to dredge that activity up again. I wanted to let it, you know,
Settle.
fall asleep and settle, and before this episode. So, but
yeah.
just to bring everybody up on speed, that's kind of what happened last week. It got real crazy real quick. and for everybody's safety, for the safety of those on the panel and safety of those even in the chat, were affected by what was going on. So
Yeah.
we ended it early last week.
Yeah.
The video is still up. You can still go over to my channel and watch it. It happened on my channel last week, but yeah, it got crazy.
Nature's
Right?
Beauty had asked where the activity had happened, and it was in each of our homes. While we were all on the panel,
See,
we were being attacked.
but hold on though. It goes back farther than last week. So about what was it? 3 weeks ago is when it originally started, and it continued on, and it's been continuing. Almost every E.V.P'S episode that Brian and Ghost have done has had activity since 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
And it's escalating and getting worse.
And so this week we will not be doing the eye ovulus or the spirit box during the show or anything like that, because earlier episodes when we didn't do that, we haven't had that kind of activity. So maybe that's drawing them in. I don't know, but it seemed like every time we did it, we got more. And last week when we was doing the eye ovulus, that thing was spitting out words like a broken gumball machine.
Yep.
Yeah,
left, right, center.
Yeah, and Aniki says every day. Yep. It's not just on E.V.P'S, guys. We get activity every day in our homes and
our private calls.
Our private calls, and there's been times when Lunatic Dad's like, "Oh, who said that?" And he's like, "You guys are fucking with me. You're fucking with me," and none of us were. But there was a whisper that came through that said, "I'm gonna get you all."
No, it said death to all.
Yeah, it said death to all.
And it said it twice in his ear, and he thought we were all fucking.
This was on a private call through Hangouts. It gets pretty risky doing this stuff, but what can you do?
What's your take on that, Rod?
Demonic, I think, to be honest. That's crazy. Because I did an investigation about a year ago where I went to this elementary school, and I literally felt a cold hand touch me on my back. I jumped up, and the guy that was with me, we actually lifted up my shirt, and you could see it looked like a little handprint, and we actually had that on recorded. So, and then we saw this shadow like in the corner run across, and like in this school, it was from the 1920s. It was shut down, abandoned, and suddenly there was bats that like sleep in the other room. All of a sudden, the bats just started going crazy, flying around and chirping and all that. It was really crazy. So, I mean, I believe in that demonic stuff. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I mean, I've got scratched before, but it's not like I could say, yes, it scratched me. I could have like been asleep and, get up to go to the bathroom and scratched on the side of the door or something. But I mean, now if like that happened to me, I'd be like, I think it's something that got me. So.
Yeah. Well, it's scary. Like doing these investigations, none of us ever know what we're going to run into.
Exactly.
We never know what to expect on these explorations and stuff like that, and it gets pretty intense sometimes.
I mean, during that whole thing, the only person that came out unscathed was myself, and I don't know if it's my faith. I don't know if it's the incantation tattoos I have, things like that. That all the crosses and Catholic art that I have tattooed on me. I don't know, but I was the only one that came through without a scratch, and I was tired, I was drained, I was worn out, but that was about it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else was getting scratched and everything else. I don't know.
Well, hell, even Becky.
Yeah, that could be the reason.
Becky loves Japan. Even she got attacked, and she wasn't even on that call.
No,
she was in the chat.
Like it got to the point, Murad, where it wasn't just the panel getting attacked; it was everybody in the audience and in the chat.
Man, maybe I'm glad I didn't go.
It's been getting pretty wicked.
Like if you see HSFL, what he just typed in, I think the pet cemetery we were at, I think something got me seriously because, like I said, I wasn't
Yeah.
myself.
What all happened there?
Well, we went out there, me and John from HSFL and the Marine's wife Michelle,
Yeah.
and this is actually the place where Stephen King got his like what do you call it thing for the to make his movie The Pet Cemetery and his
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
That
That's
this is
great.
the idea. There you go. I can't even speak. But anyways, so we go out there and we're not thinking nothing much. And then suddenly we just started hearing weird noises. We did investigations, turned on the spirit box, because we were using the SB7 box. And then we started getting responses through the SB7 box. So we're like, okay, awesome. Things are starting to happen. And then just from there, it's little by little, it started escalating. And so we started walking to one area, and then I started hearing noises. So we looked back. Of course, I didn't see nothing, but I believe it was Citizen Z that was taking like photos from where we were, and he caught a face in the bush of whatever that was, and it was just weird. Then we actually got a like a ghost cat, a photo. I have all the photos, but and then so anyways, we started doing a little more exploration and investigations, and so as we were leaving, I literally started feeling uneasy. And then Michelle was like, come on, we got to go. I'm not feeling too well. And so as we were leaving, we could hear something following us. So we kept turning around and looking. And honestly, we couldn't see nothing. And then Citizen Z snapped this one picture where you see right where the bushes are, two glowing red eyes. And we've been past there and nothing's over there. So
Yeah.
that kind of spooked us out. And so as we're getting out of there, Michelle's like, come on, let's get out of there fast, fast. So we're trying to hurry. And then I just started getting some weird chills. And yeah, and the red eyes was following us. You're right, John. But it was just crazy. And then I just started feeling uneasy. And of course, we did the prayer and we put holy water. And well, I didn't do it as much as they did. But so that's probably why I think something got attached. Because then after we left, I don't know, I just started feeling like I felt this like anger, like this sadness and anger and then every time somebody would say something, I was just getting like really irritated and I just started going off on people and I shouldn't have. So, I mean, until till today, it's like, I don't know, I still feel a little weird, but I don't feel angry like when I was there. And we were there for quite a few hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
So,
this pet cemetery, is it by native land or like
yeah,
what's the history?
it's actually on native land, and we got the story that there are people buried there and possible mafia too, mafia people.
Mhm.
Because this is Vegas, and it's just right outside of Vegas, like a 30-40 minute drive out of Vegas.
Now, here's a we've come across this a couple times on E.V.P. Some people have the belief that your prayers or your cleansing or your protection has to be of the faith of the spirit, not of the person doing the investigation. So,
Yes.
could it be that doing the Catholic thing and doing the Christian way of blessing and prayers and that, could that be why it didn't work for you? If those spirits are native, they're not going to follow the same religion.
Um, I don't know. I think my personal opinion, I think a prayer is a prayer and it should help you no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So whether you're Catholic, Christian, whatever. So, I mean, I've been to other places and I don't pray, I didn't pray and I didn't use any kind of protection or nothing, and nothing's ever happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think this is one of the most demonic, or I can't say demonic because I don't really know what it was. So, but should I say the creepiest place I've kind of been to that I investigated so far? Because more stuff happened here than other places. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like Lou Rock said himself that yeah, he wants to come out and check it out for himself.
Yeah.
And I was actually supposed to tomorrow night. I'm supposed to be going doing a lone blonde. I can't even speak today. Sorry, I've been working all day and tired. But
It's cool.
blindfold challenge, and I was supposed to go tomorrow night, but everybody's saying no. Because so if I did get possessed, not possessed, but attachment, then they said I should not do it because I'm even more vulnerable. So I'm still debating
Now,
now.
what is for those out in the chat that don't know what the blindfold challenge is? What is the blindfold challenge?
Okay, the blindfold. You go out there and you got to pick a spot. You put your SB7 on, and then you sit there and you literally blindfold yourself for 30 minutes, and you try to see if you can get anything, feel anything, and sometimes you could even get attacked and not know it because you can't see anything coming towards you. So a lot of people recommend you do not do it because especially if you don't have the knowledge or know what you're doing, they recommend you stay away and not do the blindfold challenge. But me, if I do go back, I'm still debating whether I'm gonna now because I did have one person I was gonna go with me, but they decided their spirits guide said no, they don't. I'm not gonna go. So they said it's a dangerous place. So I'm still debating if I still want to go and do the blindfold challenge or not.
So wait,
But
you go blindfolded to a haunted area
yep,
and just
and
what, walk around?
you sit or stand. No, well, if you walk, you're gonna probably fall and hurt yourself. But
Well,
you just
probably.
mainly sit or stand in one spot.
Yeah.
So and
See,
then
I was just thinking, I was like, yeah, I'm going to be doing the West Virginia State Penitentiary here in July 20th. That might be something interesting to do while being locked in there overnight. Is
yeah,
like 15 or 20-minute blindfold challenge, but actually walk on feeling your way through the prison.
yeah, that's not a good idea. If you're gonna do it, like I said, I was gonna do the 30-minute. I always do a 30-minute challenge, and that's the best way to do it. But just stay at one spot. Just find out where the most haunted section is, and that's where you want to sit. And then turn on your SB7, or even if you don't want to use that, just sit there and listen and see if you can feel things. So, I mean, that's the thing. That's the way I would do it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to go to an area where nothing happens and do a blindfold challenge. Because unless it wants to come out to you, but
Yeah, see,
Now,
I'm going to a prison. There ain't no place in that prison that something hasn't happened. That's the
Yeah.
well, it's
and I have
supposed to basically heighten your senses,
right,
right?
right.
so I mean, it's up to you how you guys want to do it. But that's the thing I would do. So I would gladly sit there and honestly, I'm thinking that maybe I should still do it, but do it live. Put the camera on me in case something does happen. Then whoever's watching can see what happens. Or nothing could happen. Who knows, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to say because you hope for stuff to happen, and then that night that you would hope for something to happen, it might not happen. But then the following time you go and say, well, it's not going to happen, it ends up happening anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And it's like, and HSFL and I, and like Lou Rock and I have talked about this very same thing. You might have cameras rolling for 6 hours. The minute you shut off cameras and start tearing down, that's when something's going to happen.
Oh, that happened to me quite a few times, to be honest. Nothing happened the whole night, and I'm like, okay, this place ain't that good. And then right
Yeah.
when I shut off and start tearing down, like you said, next thing you know, start hearing doors slamming and all kinds of weird stuff happening.
All
I'm
hell starts breaking through. Yep.
so
Yeah.
Yep. Always happens that way.
yeah, like I don't know if you guys heard, but I investigated the Gofield Hotel. That was amazing, let me tell you.
Well, tell us about it.
Well, that's where it's in Goldfield, Nevada. It's about a 3-hour drive here, and that's where the owner of the hotel was dating this girl or married to her, and he didn't know she was actually like a prostitute back then, making money on the side while he was gone on business or whatever. Well, he ended up finding out one day, and he chained her up to the heater. You know, they had those metal heaters
Radiator.
back then. Yeah, radiator heaters. So she ended up dying,
Yep.
and her her name was Elizabeth, and she ended up haunting the place. So I know Red. Red is the owner of the Goldfield Hotel, and actually
Yep.
Ghost Adventures has been there.
Yeah, that's the one where Zach had the boards flying across the basement and all that stuff. That was
Yeah,
actually the place that got it to
if
start.
you want to call it that, yeah.
Yeah, and then the Constantinos who were in there and got the EVP of "Thank you, but we've done it." And
Yeah,
then shortly after, he killed her and then killed himself.
yeah. Actually,
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
we actually went to Virginia City and did an investigation with Debbie Constantino a week before she got killed.
Wow.
So she was actually a really cool person to hang out with. So it just sucks that that happened to her. But
Mhm.
anyway, so oh,
Do
sorry.
you think that I mean, talking about that instance, I mean, he murdered her and then killed himself. Do you think that that was some kind of attachment that he
I
got?
think, yeah, I think it is, to be honest, because he was fine, and then if you would have watched some of the videos, he was starting to act weird before all this happened. And even people were saying that, this guy's not acting right.
Well, I know there was rumors that she was cheating on him and he was suspicious and things like all how
Yeah.
rumors go.
No,
But
she actually told me the reason why she was leaving him, but the reason why is because he was abusive. He started acting abusive and like hitting her and stuff. She just couldn't say it on the show and tell people about it.
right,
But
right.
so that's why she ended up leaving him. So,
Yeah.
and then he just got an attachment or whatever happened, freaked out, and
I've always wondered that if it was an attachment or if, that there was a history of like drug abuse or something like that. I mean, it
yeah,
kind of like that whole what was the wrestler that did the same thing? Um,
Yep.
not sure. I don't really follow wrestling, so
yeah, it was. Oh, I can't remember his name now.
well, they did say though he was actually he was on he was on drugs and drinking the day he went out there to kill her and what happened, what not. So
That's
so I
insane.
mean that could be part of it, but I think more of it is more of an attachment. You know what I mean? Like when I was, when I started getting that attachment, I mean I'm guessing it was that because like I said, I was just like feeling angry and I don't know why. So
I mean,
Oh
it's
I
yeah.
just
it's been what 4 or 5 years now since that happened,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know, I don't know where that happened at, but I'm thinking that the Constantinos were EVP specialists. That's what they did primarily. That's what they specialized in
Yep.
was EVPs. Wouldn't it be interesting to go to that place where that happened and get EVPs from them?
Oh
So
yeah.
they were specialists of it in life.
Yeah.
Maybe they're more apt to be able to communicate after death.
Yep. You know what? I agree with you. That would be a interesting place to go investigate.
For sure.
I mean, I actually know the area. I don't know the exact apartment where
Yeah.
they were that happened in, but I know the area where it happened.
Like where it actually occurred and took place.
Yeah, it was
So
actually in Reno, on the outskirts of Reno.
Yeah.
might be
Yeah.
something for you to check into.
Yeah, for sure.
Could make for some interesting content too.
That's true. Yeah, maybe I should take a trip out there and see what hopefully the people that live there now would allow me to go in and I can interview them and see if, maybe they have experiences and things that happen.
Right.
Yep.
Mhm.
See if they've had any like encounters with the apparitions of the spirits that were there, or
Yeah,
steps down the hallways, whatever, stuff moving. You
yeah.
never
So
know.
Hmm. Yes, that was the crippler Chris Benoit. Yes, that was
Yes.
the
Yep.
one. He succumbed to roid rage and ended up killing his wife and his
yeah,
kids, and then
He
waited
did,
2
yeah.
days and killed himself afterwards.
And that was all
It
before the cops
it
came.
was nuts.
yeah. That's why. But yeah, I mean, I had some pretty crazy experiences. I mean, right across from the like the Gofield Hotel is the BCR building. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it. It's in
Yep.
Gofield, Nevada. And what happened was we were in there investigating one night. Me and a couple of my old members. I'm not with that group no more. But and we were walking. Hey, Lou Rock, how are you, buddy?
What's going on, Lou?
So
Hey, Lou.
What's up, Lou?
so
Hey, Lou.
we're actually in the like the bar area where this area is supposedly where women are not allowed. It
Yep.
was it was kind of a club because the women had an area where they go and the men had an area where they go. Well, me and my old what do you call it investigator that was with me, uh, we went into this one area and I heard a woman's voice and I'm like, is there somebody in here? So I walk into the bathroom where I heard the noise, the sound. Of course, we were just getting up there, so I didn't have no recorder on or nothing at the moment.
Yep.
So I open up, and sure enough, nothing was there. So we come out of that room, we go towards the bar, and no joke, there's this like heavy, I guess door you can call it, and it was leaning up against the wall. And out of the blue, this is no joke, guys. It lifted and slammed against the wall, made us all jump.
Ooh.
And I was like, what the hell was that? So of course, we try to debunk it. We're
Oh
like,
yeah.
okay, what happened? Did somebody bang the wall? Or we tried everything. We couldn't debunk it. So
Wow.
that was one of the crazy areas. And then we went up to the bar. We're standing in front of the bar, nobody touching the bar. All of a sudden, and this bar is like a good, probably 20 feet long, and it was probably weighed a good 500-600 pounds.
Yep.
And no joke, this whole bar just shook on us and made us jump again. I'm like, man, what is going on here? So of course we pull out our recorders and everything, because sorry, let me go back. We went up to the bar first of all to talk about what we're going to do, where we're going to set up and all that, the cameras and all that. And then that's when it happened. So we didn't even get to pull nothing out. So that was pretty crazy. And then so we finally set up and all that. And then we started actually getting some really good E.V.P'S and ghost box sessions and all that. And we were recording all. So that night we left, we went back to the hotel room,
Yep.
and we went to like review some of the footage. Everything on those was gone. There was literally nothing. And I know we had it all recorded because we could see the red flashing light when it
Yep. Yep.
records.
See, and that's the thing that bugs me too, man. Twice now we went to a haunted location and all of my investigation footage gone. It just wiped
Mm-hmm.
as if I put it in a computer and just hit the delete button.
Yeah, so it happened to me quite a few times. I was at a cemetery over next to the Pioneer Saloon,
Yeah.
and by the way, we just investigated the Pioneer Saloon too. But hey, Sherry V. But
Yeah.
anyways, and as soon as literally, I remember that the night before I charged up all my batteries and everything. And that day we pulled up over there. We did a little investigation. I came back to grab some of my cameras and my other stuff. All on every device, all the batteries were dead.
Wow. Something was draining the power.
Yeah, and we did that night see a white figure and a few other things. We heard something walking behind us when we turned around. There was nothing there. So if I saw this back then, what I do now, I would have 100% been a believer back then. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Because I used to
Yeah.
think it was all fake and didn't believe in none of this.
I was the same way.
But so yeah, I mean, honestly, I love doing this now. And sometimes I get, irritated because I mean, I get trolled a lot. But beyond that, that's just it's my passion and what I want to do. So,
Mhm.
and
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna keep doing it until the day I die, I guess. And then somebody can come investigate me. you know?
right. That's the way it's gonna work for all of us, man. You
Yep.
know, it's a tough field to get into, but it's the thrill of the hunt and everything else that keeps us going. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, I agree. Yep.
I love it, man. The thrill of going into a haunted place and feeling what you feel. It's unexplainable, but it's awesome.
And I'm the type that I'm the Aaron of Ghost Adventures. If there's something haunted, I want to go in alone. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Because I want to feel like a lot of people ask me what's my best equipment that I use, and I tell them this all the time. It's myself, my senses, what I feel, what I
Yep.
see. No equipment can do that.
Right.
So,
Yep.
I agree.
and anybody says that's wrong, like I had one guy arguing with me saying, "Oh no, equipment is way better than your own senses." I was like,
No,
No.
equipment can malfunction.
Yep. And
exactly.
that's the thing. Like you can get equipment that malfunctions and then you're screwed. But then you've got your own to live off of. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I've
Well,
always 100% trusted my own.
I go with my gut.
well, and I've said it a dozen times in previous episodes and things like that. You know,
Yep.
we're all at the mercy of our machines. The more technologically advanced they are, the more prone to being questionable the evidence can be. So if you can
Exactly.
take the human element out of, you know, what you use, say, you know, a compass instead of the whole electronic EMF detector and all that stuff. If you use a compass and you put something over top of it, like a glass bowl, to where it cannot be influenced by anything outside. If you
Yeah.
have a camera on it, that compass starts spinning. Yeah, there's that's irrefutable. You've taken the human element out of it. You've taken, you know, the electronic
Mhm.
element out of it. It's really hard to disprove.
It is.
I
I
agree
mean,
100%.
pendulums, trigger objects, like, you know, just all kinds of stuff. Um, an etch it sketch, you know, use an etch it sketch.
Yep.
Put the dot right in the middle. Leave it alone. If it moves and you got a camera on it, you can't influence a etch a sketch with a magnet. Okay,
Yep.
something has to physically turn those knobs to move that thing on an etch a sketch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Things that you wouldn't normally think about using as equipment sometimes make the best equipment.
Yep.
No, you're right.
Well, look at Benny. She was on Lou's yesterday, and she's got a ball, and all that literally does is you touch it, and it lights up different spots.
Yep.
And it's
Mhm.
not a ghost hunting tool, but she's made it that way. You know?
Right.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if I do this,
How many
honestly,
how many times you go like ghost hunting in a house that is occupied by somebody? Say a private individual calls you into their home and you go
Yeah.
past their kid's room, and in the toy box they have one of those books with the buttons that plays music, and it just starts
Yep.
playing randomly for no reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah.
Even
Or
stuff
how?
like that can be.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
I was gonna say that actually reminded me. That's like when we went to David Oman's house. We investigated his house. I don't know if you guys seen the video on that,
Mhm.
but
Yep.
there's the piano in there that we got to play on its own,
Yeah,
and
I
then
noticed that the keys started moving and everything else.
yep, by itself. And one guy was telling me, I'm not going to mention his name, but he's like, oh, you guys rigged that. That's fake. I'm like, really? Come on
There's
now.
there's no possible way that you can rig a piano.
Exactly. I know it's a kid's toy with batteries,
Yeah,
but you have to literally push the button to get it to play.
yeah.
So, but yeah, the guy that I was talking to, he still doesn't believe, and he's like, I'll believe it when I see it. I said, you know what? Then I'm going to take you over to David Oman's house then. So I'll show him that it really works, that it's real.
Now,
Yep.
see, how often does it do that?
Well, like HSFL, because he was with us too. It says the piano didn't go off once, but 5 times, caught on camera.
But I'm
So,
saying, like, has he ever had other people come in and it's never gone off?
oh yeah. David told me, he's like, yeah, there's times where I've seen people come in and nothing happened, and there's times where, like me and everyone else. But the thing is, I don't think it liked me because when I was there, it would not play no matter what. Literally, as soon as I walk out the door, I would hear that piano play with nobody in the room.
Hmm.
That's not uncommon in haunting situations. I mean, look at Stanley Hotel. They also have a piano there that'll play on its own.
Yeah,
Yep.
I actually been there too, to the Stanley Hotel. That's a great place.
Like
The
mine.
Winchester House has a piano that will drop notes every once in a while.
Yep, exactly.
There's
Like,
a lot of instances.
yep. Like, mind you, there's pianos you can get that have the scrolls that go in. But like in a haunted location like that, 9 times out of 10, that scroll and self-playing piano is going to be broke anyway.
That's her name. The little girl there at the home is Gwendolyn. They named her. I don't know if that's her real name, but that house, and if nobody is a believer on chat, come with me and see for yourself. You guys will get the experience of your life. I'm telling you right now. So,
Yeah.
and also the Pioneer Saloon, we just
Yep.
investigated too.
John actually gave me a sneak peek of that. That was a really good investigation.
Oh yeah.
Like
So yeah,
the EVPs and that thing, man, were golden.
they were
I couldn't.
incredible.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. Well, wait till he puts it out for everybody to watch.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, that's what we love doing. And then I got a lot of plans to go places. Me and John have a thing called the Nevada Triangle. I don't know if you guys heard of that,
Yep.
but me and John are gonna set out to start doing some documentaries on that.
That'll be awesome.
So yeah, I can't wait for that. That's gonna be starting soon. Well, probably like mid this year, maybe the end of this year, somewhere in that area. But
Welcome, Kels.
Welcome,
Hi
Kel.
guys. I promised after a year, didn't I?
Yeah.
well, hello.
You're here.
Yeah.
So yeah,
What
we
else
got. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
What's going on my uh-oh. All right. Continue.
Oh, now just saying, me and John from HSFL, we have a lot planned coming up this year and next year. So I mean, you guys are gonna be shocked to see what we have coming out.
Oh
It's
yeah.
gonna be incredible. So
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
I can't wait.
we our next plan is Tombstone, Arizona. So that's one of them too.
Well, John was saying in the chat that you're going up to where he is.
Yeah.
This weekend or something?
Not this weekend, next weekend.
Mm.
Hey, Joe from Presence of the Unknown. How are you, buddy?
Hey, Joe.
What
I
up,
can't
Joe?
see chat.
Why isn't?
Hey Joe, how's it going? Mutt Nutton's review, how's it going?
So,
Yeah, we're gonna fix that.
and hopefully we're going to be able to have Joe from Presence of the Unknown. Well, I'm kind of like with their group too,
Yeah.
but I just hope he joins us because we have a lot of stuff that we're planning on doing, and I would really like Joe and Cynthia to join us. That would be so awesome.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
like
We have another guest up on the panel now. Kel's fam is here, and
Yep.
she contacted me earlier today. She said, "It's time." And I was like, "It's time for what?" She's like, "It's time. I'm ready to tell my ghost stories." I said, "Well," I told JoJo, I said, "Well, get her up on a show. Let her tell her ghost story. Let her
Yep.
tell her
Mhm.
experience and stuff." So that's why Kels is here today to share her experiences with the paranormal with us, and you know, uh, maybe we can all give her some input or help her out or whatever she needs. And take it away, Kel.
All right. Sorry, guys. I have to have the thing off because I'm still at work with Paul. He recently had a partial seizure, so I'm still here.
Ooh,
Yeah.
sorry
And
to hear
I'm
that.
finally getting better. So, of course, I'm finally getting better. He was sick, I was sick for months together. Think about that. And so right now, it's time for us to keep him awake. 1 second, guys.
Hey guys, I got a phone call, so I'm gonna have to leave for a bit.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'll definitely be back, and if you guys are still on, because I don't know how long this phone call's gonna last. Okay.
It's all right, man.
All right. Talk to you guys later, and thank you, everybody.
No problem, Murad.
Sorry, that was my aunt, guys.
All right. Bye.
Yes. See? I don't know how to do anything on this thing, guys.
Oh, you're good. So, this
Hold on,
is
let
your
me find
first
my
time.
headphones.
Hold on.
Just keep talking, though.
This is your first time telling people about your paranormal experiences, right?
Let me see if I can figure something out here.
Oh.
There we go.
Now we can hear you.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Okay.
Now I can hear you guys.
So, is this your first time telling people about your paranormal experiences?
A lot of it, yeah. I mean, I've told a little bit on my channel, yeah. But thanks to you guys, and because of you guys and this community and all of these communities, I can tell the full shebango.
Yeah.
And Paul's a part of it. And oh yeah, warning, I'm gonna might probably totally get emotional. Just because
All right.
Okay.
this time
Sometimes
of
people
year
do.
and everything, well, people always get taken from us. 2 years ago, almost to the date, is when my best friend, the one spirit who is always around and people see in my channel, she got taken from us, and so yeah. And then my grandma, yeah, people just die, and they've just been around. Paul today has been sitting, staring, laughing his ass off, and I'm like, Steph, quit. Yeah, no, they're stealing our shit. Last night, one of them hid keys on us. So yeah,
Really?
yeah, our whole life, my whole life, when I was very, very young, I had kids, not imaginary friends. I always said they were kids, my kids. They really were. Coming to think of it, kids, but I don't think they were actually kids. Most of my life, I have woken up. I've been scratched, my whole life, all over the place. Woke up with blood. I would wake up with blood. Um, I've been toe to toe with a demon at my old house. I mean, when you wake up and I don't know, you're dead asleep, and out of nowhere, um, you feel your hair being pulled up, and then your head bashed against a wall. Another time, you go to the doctor, you think you have, because of your inflictions, think you have a kidney infection. Doctor looks and says, well, that 7-inch bruise might have something to do with it. Yeah, we had to get rid of a demon at my old house.
Okay, so explain that a little bit more. Like, how did that come about?
Because Well, one, we've always lived at that house. Two, no, God, this could be. No, you know what? It's time. You're right. I'm ready. A bad relationship I was in. Um, he was into the cult. He, yeah, something attached me from there on out. You know, like a PK manifestation type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I was depressed, anything like that, after that, my family's like, no, we swear that you were partially possessed. While I was sick, every time I would listen to you guys, I swear you guys kept saying the word possession. Think about that. And yes, I can see, hear, feel. It's been in the family for generations. I've come to find out both sides. So yeah,
So
I want to go on a
what?
hunt.
Hold on. So what's been in your family for generations?
You know how people
Like,
have special powers?
well, you mean like an empathic side or
Yes,
like a medium side?
both. One side's
Okay.
empathic, one side's medium.
Okay.
I've also always have had my, especially my grandfather, who was the one that would always take me to the hospitals, the doctor visits, everything. My grampy, he died from cancer. Him and I were the ones in the family that have 7 lives or more and just wouldn't die. And he passed away. Can't believe I'm gonna say this. He got very, very ill. Died in his home. Would only die in his home. Very, very ill. I was 12 years old, and he said, "No, I'm gonna stay alive to watch my little girl turn 13." Stayed alive for my birthday. Died on his a week later. Ever since then, I've just be able to, yeah. And animals. They follow me everywhere. You guys know this. And
Mm-hmm.
like Saint Francis of Assisi. Found out that that's also a different type of paranormal thing. Animal
Mm.
spirit.
Yeah.
And Steph
So
always used to say to me, "You're an animal spirit." And right side, always, lately, I've been feeling my hand being held. That she used to tell us, if you ever feel that, that's me. And you guys have seen what's happening in my streams. Shit getting thrown.
mhm.
Shit
Well,
stuff.
explain it for the people in the chat because
Okay.
some of these people haven't been to your
I
channel.
can't see the chat.
No, no, but I'm saying
Okay,
like
so
I'm all
about okay, so me, my one of my best friends in the whole wide world, who's like a sister to me, we all met because of the love of wrestling. We met on a blog talk radio show. We met, and then from there on out, we were the three amigos. We had our own shows, everything like that. Um, they were with me through the stroke and everything.
mhm,
She was also special needs and everything, so she knew when she had to back down for a little bit. She did. I felt very, very guilty after she got murdered, and I knew though that day we were gonna go see Beauty and the Beast. That day I was taking out the garbage, and out of
mhm,
nowhere I dropped it and I said her name. From there on out, we know that it's a definite.
mhm.
She's the one that always used to tell me, "You have powers. You're special. You're different." No, she was right. Talking to different generations of the family, different people in each side of the family. Yeah, I guess back in the day we were very powerful people or some crap.
So do you know
Because,
much about your family history when it comes to like that side of it?
mm-hmm. Well, that side of it, I'm mainly Irish. My name in Gaelic means warrior, means brave warrior. What have I gone through my whole life? And yeah, I guess that stuff's happened. Yeah, I got to do a little bit more research, but that's why I have this. I gotta put my camera on. Let me put my camera on. I know I look like crap. Sorry, guys. Hey, guess what? My family's like alive. Why won't it work? Seriously, my family's alive. How do I turn my camera on?
There you go.
There it is.
It's on? Okay, good. Ghost, you have Coke. I want Coke. Don't snort it. It hurts. They used to tell me that when I turned 21. I'm obsessed with, you guys know this. A lot of you guys know.
Hold on.
I
Before
have a
anyone gets any bright ideas, she means Coca-Cola, guys.
don't yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, anything that I do and will say, just don't do it. Just I'm not responsible. There you go. Especially children. We're not responsible.
A lot
Don't
of
try
people
this
in
at home.
a lot of people in the chat don't know that a couple of years back, Kels had a massive stroke.
Thank
So,
you. Can you help?
yeah, that's why you'll hear me kind of interrupt her a bit and redirect her because she does tend to veer off path when she's trying to explain something.
Especially with right now, I have a very horrible, because of me being stubborn as hell and not listening to every single last one of you
Yes.
and getting checked out from Christmas on. I now have to go somewhere
I'm
specialist.
stubborn as hell too, Kels, and I had a stroke at the age of 36. And being stubborn helped me to recover, so to speak. Like some of the effects that I had was like I would stammer and I'd search for a word that I wanted to use, but I couldn't find the word, and I would get so frustrated and so mad about
Me
it.
too.
Yeah, but
Oh my.
it does get better, and now almost 10 years after the fact, I'm back to being my articulate self. You know what I mean?
You're
But
right.
I still have problems with like spelling words now and things like that. But yeah, it does mess with you, and it takes a long time to recover fully, and a lot of different things that like you got to rework, you got to relearn how to spell certain words and things like that, or you'll just start spelling words the way that they sound. You know what I
Or
mean?
flipping. Did
Yep.
you ever?
Flipping letters. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would get so frustrated at myself.
I still do that. People
Or
think it's
reading
funny when I do that
backwards.
because I do that when I'm talking fast.
Me too.
And JoJo and them has heard me do it before, say things backwards, and
Yeah.
yeah.
We have to like redirect him too sometimes.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say it again. I believe in fate. I believe things happen for a reason. You guys were brought into my life for a reason.
Yep.
Mhm. I'm here just to be a pain.
No, Jojo, what was the first thing I ever said to you? I said I
Beyond.
found my people.
Yes.
You're my good people. I found, because me and Becca and Steph with our radio show, we would say anything goes to our brain, comes out our mouth.
Yeah.
Now I have a medical condition of why that happens, but
Yeah.
So tell us some of the paranormal that's gone on in your home.
give me 1 second. I gotta wake a boy up. You know what, you guys?
Check and pulse time.
What time? It's 9. It's 9. Meds, what time?
9:15.
9:15? Okay, I gotta go.
Your mom said you're staying, right?
Duh.
She said, "Oh no." Yeah. She is.
Okay, guys. Sorry. I was interrupted.
Your mom said she thinks you
Okay.
should.
Okay. By the way, all of YouTube can hear you.
But anyway, I have a feeling he's gonna sleep really good tonight.
Thank God, I can finally sleep.
Everybody's gonna sleep good tonight.
You guys, I have not slept well. You guys know this. Ghost, you have that problem too?
Which problem is that?
Insomnia.
Oh,
Anybody with the paranormal, do you have insomnia?
Yes.
you know what? I really don't have that. I'm a natural night owl, anyways.
Yeah.
When
Wait,
I
are
was
you a Leo?
working at the plants, I worked third shift, so I worked from 11 o'clock at night till 7 in the morning, and then would head out to the bar after work at 7 o'clock in the morning, have a couple beers, go home, and go right to sleep. But
Oh my God. Well, with the paranormal, like right now, oh my God. I'm gonna say, how do I do the analogy here? Supernatural? Now at least I know why things happen Certain things are true. I did research. I've
Okay, so
seen demons.
hmm
Okay, the
yeah.
demons.
Now explain that. Like, where have you seen them? Where have you come in
My old
contact with
house, and that was after I got saved from Dex. In my whole life, I don't know why. It's just random little like my house now. Just a kid, nice, friendly. And all my spirit guides are my family, nice, friendlies. That's fine. I gotta do more research on that house,
Yeah.
indubitably.
So
Because
at the old house, encountering the demon, was it in an attic? Was it in a basement?
it was in a basement of a house that I lived. Oh no, that one followed me. Oh yeah, they like to follow. That one followed me from the ex. Um, abusive relationship and everything. It followed me, and plus, let's just say we had somebody that something bad happened at that house while I was gone, and I knew it. And I don't know, things just like to follow me, and good and bad, my whole life. And I just have intuition, really big intuition of I know exactly when something bad's gonna happen my whole life. At least now I know why and how and what it means. Thanks to you guys. Like I said, I found my people. The people that understand me. I can't see chat or anything.
What do you mean people don't understand you?
I never had okay, like around here, um, especially in like my family back in the day, they wanted to hide it. They were scared. I'm the one that was open. Besides great grandma, grandma, and a couple others. And Gert. Okay, Gert is my great one of my great grandmas. Well, here's the signs that I get. With Gert, my dad and her and my grandma were always practical jokers. Well, we had an old stove. This is the good. We had an old stove at our house that after a while the timer stopped working. After my grandpa passed away, it would just randomly flash. My grandma passed away, same thing. It happens in three of our houses. Our house, it would happen in our old house, my grandma's old house, their house, and that was after my grandpa died. And then this house, Paul's house. We have the original timer, and it goes off out of nowhere. Phones go off out of nowhere now. Whenever anything bad happens, we just look up at the sky and we scream their name.
Mm-hmm.
I have brought them to like my whole family to realize you don't have to be scared, and that's thanks to this more open. That's thanks to you guys. That's thanks to this. And being open sometimes sucks, and I'm finally learning how to block the bad. So the good happens, except with blocking the bad, I have to say it. I should have been listening to you guys ever since before Christmas
Mm-hmm.
when I've been sick. Shut up, I'm stubborn. So yeah, scratch, bit, thrown. I because I don't back down, but I don't provoke. I just don't back down. I take control.
So,
Jojo and Brian, your house. I wanna just I I've been yeah. I've been worried about you guys.
we're okay. We're used to it.
Yeah, that's the sad part. So am I. That's the sad part.
But
Sad thing that
it
you get
happens
used to it.
in every place we live. It's just some are more active than others.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
And like when you were talking to me earlier, and you said you wanted to go on a hunt with us when we come down there this summer.
Mm-hmm.
The only
It just
thing you have to be prepared for is the fact that stuff does follow you sometimes.
oh, I know.
Not all the time.
I know how to, you know, I know how to take precaution, and I want you guys to teach me.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
We're willing to teach you anything you want to know, Kels. Anything at all.
Before I go on, well, the ones that started this whole thing, I'll say it right out because since it's his birthday, oh my gosh, TV, and then James. It's all James's fault. I'm gonna blame him because with James the Fam, seeing him on, I mean, I've talked to him face to face on that live race and stuff, and then his cousin, Tim. I was in his stream and I asked about the I'm like, what's this little button mean? And that's when I was able to go live. He bugged me. A lot of you guys Jiggy bugged me. I met most of you guys in Jiggy family. Hence why
Yeah.
I'm wearing this today. Oh, and everybody gonna get surprises. That's all I'm gonna say. Ghost, today I
Do
got my
what?
sign. I got my sign from you. Well, about you today.
Uh-oh,
You
dear.
got your
No,
sign.
I get signs from my spirit guides.
Oh, okay.
I do.
You mean
And
like the
I always
time that my
ask.
picture showed up on your phone for no reason at all?
Yes,
What?
that's Steph. That is Stephanie. That is
What?
Stephanie.
Yeah, she was watching the show or something, and I don't know if her
She's
phone like screenshotted, but it was a screenshot of me, and it set it as like the background on her phone, and she's like, I don't know why my phone did this. And she sent it to
I've
me. I was like,
always
that's
I've
weird.
always had possessed phones. I don't know why, but technology, me and technology. Oh, yeah, me and technology, I've always been able to fix things right away just by touching them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something.
Well,
That
come over here and touch my car because it's broke down right now. It needs a new water pump.
cars, I will find a way. Oh yeah, that's the other thing with my stroke. I would find a way. With the whole wrestling thing, how it ties in is with us wrestling 24/7, all that, the way that we would find out of, wait, hold on, holy shit, was they would repeat things that came out of our mouths. First time that happened, I seriously just about shit a brick. The Shield. I love those three, the Shield. At first, I hated them. Well, to try to make me like them, they turned their gear into the Cerberus, the three-headed hellhound, because it's a dog. Wolves, dogs, all that stuff. So to this day, they do crap. They watch this. They watch my YouTube. I swear.
I've seen a hellhound. We both have.
I have to.
There's a cemetery that's just on the outskirts of Cambridge,
Mhm.
and we drove by it the one night, and ended up turning around to go back because we seen a hellhound that stood in the ditch as high, like taller than the car,
Mhm.
and they're made to guard the cemeteries,
Well, and it's warnings
and
of
it's warnings of people about to pass away or whatever.
I'm supposed to be dead a million times over. They love
Now,
me.
do you find you're more sensitive
Oh, very.
since you've had your stroke?
Oh yeah. Okay. Big story. Here we go. I'll do it. I've been a warrior and a fighter since birth. I was born with spina bifida. There's many different types of spina bifida, as a lot of people know. I was born with one called myelomeningocele. Technically, I should never have been able to walk the way I do, talk, do a lot of stuff my whole life. People would try to baby me.
Mm-hmm.
I would look at them and say, I can do it. At 2.5 years old, something like that, taught myself to walk. 1.5 to, I don't know, but anyway, I taught myself how to walk. I would fall down, scrape everything. I wouldn't let anybody help me. When I was learning to ride a bike, same thing. Wouldn't let anybody help me. So after the stroke happened, um, here's the kicker. I told some people this, and it happened on a wrestling thing. That's how me and Roman Reigns actually. He has, that stupid C word,
Mm-hmm.
and he knows I love the Shield. Well, during this, we were talking to people during it happening. I would say first day I got home, my room is all the way upstairs in the loft.
Mm-hmm.
The one that really shouldn't be doing that her whole life, walking up 17, like 17 stairs and shit. I do things the hard way. I don't let people tell me no. Yeah, hence why I've almost died a million times because I don't listen. Oops. But that one, I crawled. I crawled on my hands and knees. Then I called my best friend, Rebecca Gentry, for Wrestling 24/7. She's the host. Um, then my sister. If it wasn't for her, she flew her ass from Lawton, Oklahoma here, to Chicago. If it wasn't for Rush University, I'd be dead. So, they still owe me stuff, by the way. They still owe me a surprise. Sorry, I had to. Um, Even there, I saw stuff. Even in hospitals, I've seen stuff. Um, One hospital visit, wasn't sleeping. I saw a big black cat. My thing is animals. Shadow people, I have shadow animals. They tried to tell me I was fucking schizophrenic. Yeah. My shrink, one of these shrinks tried to tell me I was fucking schizophrenic. That's
So
why you
you
have
gotta
to be.
watch the swearing. This isn't age restricted.
Nope, it's not. You're
No.
supposed to warn me. You guys are supposed to
E.V.P'S
warn.
is never age restricted.
Sure.
Well, okay, I'm gonna do it again. Anything that comes out of my mouth, kids, children, whatever. You don't. If you do what you do and you decide to repeat us, not our fault.
Hello, Pete.
Okay, you guys do what you gotta do. I gotta check on Paul, do meds. I'll be back.
Little Pete. Yeah, like they show on Chicago PD 32nd and Princeton.
Okay.
You do know I'm on YouTube, right?
You guys share this out. Drop a like on that on the video, and let's get some more people in here. I know it's dropping off a little bit now. I believe that Murad is going to be coming back here pretty soon.
Mm-hmm. We've got
Said he had to go.
23 in here. There's like 45 minutes left of the show, guys. Keep in mind,
We got,
guys, even though you're not up on panel, you guys can share in the chat, or if you want to be up on panel, message Ghost, message Brian, get a hold of me. We can schedule you for the next E.V.P'S that they're doing. What?
Absolutely. Hit me up on Twitter.
What?
I just opened the chat and shit by itself.
Brian's phone's doing funky stuff.
See who we got out there. We got Jenny Martzift out there, sharpshooter, dropping all those links for us. Thank you, my
And it's
God.
like,
And Simply Shannon's in the house. Will be. Walker family's in here. Lou Rock's still lurking. What's going on, Lou? Story Dory's in the house. What's going on, Thomas?
Oh no, I wasn't saying that to you. I was saying it to myself. Continue what you're doing. Talk to the chat. I know I'm getting messages from some people that are
We can barely hear you, JoJo.
hang on a second. Right. Okay, is that better?
Yes, much better.
I'm getting messages from some people. That's why I was letting everyone know that Kels has had a stroke before, guys. It is, like I said, it's hard sometimes to understand people that have had strokes, especially when they've been severe strokes. So you kind of have to bear with her when she is telling her story. That, and she's a little nervous. I mean, this isn't her field, you know what I mean? Like, it's out of her realm. So you do have to give her a little bit of leadway there. She's trying to explain it the best that she can. If you guys have questions for her or Ghost or Brian or anyone that's ever up on this panel, put them in the chat, guys. I know we haven't been reading the chat, though. a second here, guys.
That's rolling now.
Yeah, got 25 in.
Where's that? Oh, can you talk to dead? Can you talk to dead person, Mr. Brain?
What? Who's got that?
Richter Belmont keeps putting it over and over again.
Richter? I don't see a Richter.
Mr. Brian.
Oh, there it is.
Can you talk to dead person, Mr. Brian?
What? Depends. Brian, do you talk to dead people?
The odd time, yes. Through an E.V.P.
Yep. This is true. That's actually not a lie.
Not to offend anybody, how do you know the people who are sharing their stories that the people are not lying?
Well, see, that's the thing about paranormal. Till you've actually experienced it, I mean, people could be lying, but this is their stories. The whole point is for them to tell their stories. You know? I mean,
most of the time, if somebody's going to make up a story, they're just going to come on and do a story. Now, in Kel's specific situation, she's been afraid to tell her story for so long, and she's finally built up the confidence to be able to get up on a panel and actually tell her story. You know, if somebody was going to make it up just for 15 minutes of fame, they'll jump on anybody's panel and tell it. But
hey, can I squeeze in here?
go ahead,
yes,
Lou.
sir.
I once bumped into this Indian guy, and the guy looked at me and he told me that my zodiac is weak, that I talk to spirits, and that they attack me. All this. He told me when I was born. He told me I was a Taurus. He told me all this stuff, and I was like asking him his advice. I'm like, well, how do I protect myself from this? And you know what this guy actually told me is, he said, go to a doctor.
What?
And I'm like, yeah, what? And he's like, yeah, you need to go to a mental health professional. And I'm like,
What?
And I'm like, well, so you're just telling me I'm crazy? And he says, no. The doctors know about this stuff. Even though they might say it's something, you don't think they deal with this on a like a normal basis? You know what I mean? I've met a lot of people that are sensitives and this and that and the other thing, and they're all classified as something, schizophrenic, bipolar, whatever it may be. And I mean, talking to this Indian guy was kind of like, I was confused. By the time I walked away, I was really confused. But him telling me, them doctors, they know about people that can talk to the other side or see the other side and stuff like that. And yeah, pretty crazy. And he suggested that I take the medications that they suggest for me, which was just nuts. But yeah,
I don't understand why he would suggest you take the medications for it.
I don't know. He was basically explaining that those doctors know what's going on.
See, that doesn't make any sense. Like, they'll categorize you as, like, having a mental illness. They'll give you these medications that are supposed to stop what they refer to as delusions. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But thing is even if, all right, say they have to deal with 20 patients that claim to have paranormal experiences. They have to deal with them in a certain way. You know what I mean? And I'm sure they don't teach in school that for the actual mental health professional to believe in spirits and stuff. But I don't know. I think there's more than meets the eye when it comes to.
Richter says, I am schizophrenic. I hear voices in my head. They are commanding me what to do.
Oh.
My Uncle Joe's schizophrenic and hears voices constantly. What gets me is they're not always the same. That I ask him, what do you hear? Oh, sometimes they make me laugh. Sometimes they piss me off. Sometimes, it's always different. That's so weird, because you think if you'd have a voice in your head, it'd probably be one voice, maybe. I don't know.
Well, I have schizophrenia, and mine are never the same.
Never the same, right?
No, never.
Because my
They're
uncle will
always-
be, he'll sit there, he'll start cracking up. I'll be like, "What's going on, Uncle Joe?" So
Uh-huh.
yeah, he's just laughing. You know, that I guess one of them cracked a joke or something. Then other days he's mad.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it comes and goes.
it really made me think because I just started getting into this stuff 2 years ago. It really made me think when I started getting into this. Is there something in my Uncle Joe's head that's kind of like in tune? Because like a spirit box picks up these, frequencies that make us be able to communicate with them.
Hmm.
What if schizophrenia was just something is in tune with what's around it and it's picking up those messages? I think that a lot, actually.
Well, see, I was put on there like on the medication, and the medication sucks. Okay, like it absolutely sucks. It
Yep.
doesn't do anything, in my opinion. It literally just it makes you a blubbering idiot. That's just my take on it. That's the stuff that they had me on. But it didn't stop like my medium side. You know what I mean? So I was still hearing voices, even though they weren't the same as what I would like. It's hard to explain. The voices that I hear without the medication, okay, are different than when I'm seeing or sensing a spirit nearby. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it could very well be that your theory could very well be that. I'm just picking up extra, so to
Yep.
speak. But to me, I think there is people that do have schizophrenia that don't have the medium side to them, and it actually is just schizophrenia. And some of them just don't get diagnosed, and they don't get help, and they just assume that it is that kind of paranormal experience. You know what I mean?
Here's the deal, though. But if you think of the definition of a tormented soul,
Mhm.
that's it right there. Is being locked inside yourself with a bunch of entities torturing you,
Yeah.
and nobody can help you otherwise. So yeah, it's just crazy to think about. You could get really deep. It took my Uncle Joe 15 years to get on the medication he's on now,
Mhm.
which he's more normal than everybody else in the house now. So pretty much.
Way to put it, Lou.
It's true. He's the most nonviolent person I know. And I mean, even when me and my mom are arguing, he's like, "Yeah, you guys could stop doing that." Like he's a peaceful kind of guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really calm.
Yeah.
I mean, some people the medication works great, others not so much.
Yeah.
Yep. Like I said,
Yes.
15 years of, I mean, he did stuff like one day I see him zoom by and he's butt naked and he ran out the door and ran straight up the street and it was winter time. And when the police grabbed him, they bring him back to the house and they're sitting there and they're like just looking at my mom like, "Can you please just, get a towel or a blanket or something?" But yeah, middle of winter, phew, right down the road, butt naked.
Wow.
Wow. That had
He
to
made-
be cold.
Yeah, he made it to Hawaii one time. My grandfather had to go pick him up in Hawaii. Like he's done some things, man. He's done some things, some funny things.
How did he make it to Hawaii?
Stole my grandfather's credit card and they have the same name.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh, wow.
Made
Now,
out there.
Go ahead.
No, he made it a few weeks before they grabbed him.
Wow.
Funny you mentioned that. I was living in a house in Wheeling, West Virginia one day. I get this phone call from my fiance at the time. She says, "You need to get out of the house." I said, "Why? What's going on? What is there a fire or something?" "No, you need to get out of the house." I said, "Well, I've got my guns with me. I ain't leaving the house. If there's something going on, I've got this." She said, "No, the landlord killed his uncle and is hiding out in one of his rental properties. The cops are on their way to check the house for him." And I went, "What?" Yeah, come to find out, the guy had the same name as his uncle. He had killed his uncle put him in a 55-gallon drum, took him out to a friend of his that had a farm, left the drum there, took the money out of his checking account, took his identity, and was on the run. They actually caught him over in Columbus. He had like $8,000 cash on him and a whole trunk full of guns. They put him in jail, and he hung himself in jail.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
True story.
That's
True story. That actually happened to me. The cops showed up, and I was like, well, he's not here. I've already checked the house, and I'm sitting there with, 2 9mm in my hand, and the cops going, okay, I believe you, but we got to go in and check anyways. I said, well, you're welcome to do so. And they went through the whole house, basement, attic, everything. They went through all the crawl spaces, every nook and cranny of that house looking for the guy. And he had like 12 different rental properties. So, 12 different houses. The police department came and searched all the houses. He had stolen his uncle's identity, killed his uncle, and put him in a 55-gallon drum. And the only reason they know that he killed his uncle was the guy he left the drum at had went out there to burn trash. He seen the drum. He cut the top off of it because he was going to use it as a trash barrel. And here's the guy's uncle in the barrel. And they called the cops. Cops came out there, and they was like, well, this person brought the drum here. Yeah, that was crazy. That actually happened.
That's insane.
That's crazy, man.
And it was all because he had the same name of his uncle, and he needed money.
Wow.
His identity, and
it's amazing what people do.
That's crazy.
Just to get a little bit, you know what I mean? So here's my question. With your uncle, Lou.
Yep.
Have you ever have you ever talked to him about the paranormal?
Little bits and pieces. I don't want to set him off into a episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But I do it without kind of involving him in the conversation. I kind of just ask him questions, and I'm kind of trying to see what he's giving me for the answers. Like I'll ask, are the voices, different people? Are they men? Are they women? Do they have different names? And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, well, what's the difference? What makes some of them piss you off? And some of them some of them are nice and some of them are mean.
Mm-hmm.
He's just got such simple answers. You know what I mean? But we were actually doing a spirit box session in the kitchen the other day, and I could see him keep coming and peeping his head around the corner. And I think it was kind of freaking him out. So we stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, I just don't want to set him off on a bad trip,
Yeah. Well, I don't blame you. I mean, it's not exactly something easy to live with.
Not at all.
Before they tore down the Belchertown School, which is one of the places I went and explored, I was going to do an interview with my uncle because he was actually a patient there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And before I went and explored it, he told me, he said, that's the worst place I ever went to. He was like, they did electric shock therapy. He said they drugged you up with all kinds of weird stuff.
Can you explain to everyone what that is? Like what the place is that you're talking about?
The Belchertown School it's gone by a few different names. The original name was actually the Belchertown School for the Feeble-Minded. And it's a state school in Massachusetts that was really underfunded, and they had a lack of staff, so a lot of horrible things ended up happening there. Kids dwelling in their own filth, actually just kids disappearing because it's a farm in the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere. So if a kid walks off, he's in the middle of the Quabbin Reservoir, which is just wilderness for forever till Boston. And so kids went missing there. Some of them got trapped in the underground tunnels and actually just died from starvation. It was a really bad place when it was open. It was closed.
Sounds a lot like sounds a lot like Pennhurst.
Yeah, pretty. Well, a lot of those places went through the same things because they were underfunded. Like the there was a documentary on it in the 70s, and they took the leader of the program, whatever president or whatever he's called, but the employees of the hospital were suing the state because they were sick of the conditions. And the supervisor of the hospital goes to Connecticut to one of their facilities, and he goes out there and he's like, well, wait, where are your severely handicapped people? And the staff there goes, you're looking at them. And he's like, no, you're severely handicapped. And they're like, you're looking at them. The problem is at Belchertown, they had so little staff, people that weren't so bad off would end up bad off because they didn't have programs to help them with like range of motion and keeping their muscles limber. And I mean, some of these people weren't ever able to walk again for no reason other than they were left in their bed for years at a time.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really a sad place. One of the most haunted places I've ever been. And the first place that I ever caught a ghost on camera, I looked down a elevator shaft, and this thing, it looks like it looks up at me and then kind of pops its head back in. And there's a thing about the elevator there that was part of the lawsuit. They only had one elevator, so they'd have to bring in the food and put it in the same elevator as the patients. Like, they'd move the patients around with it. So you're talking about germs and filth in the elevator, and then the food's contaminated with that. So it was just a big mess. The place was horrible. This was in Belchertown, Massachusetts.
Wow.
Oh, wow, man.
So what did they like? What was your uncle doing there?
Well,
Like,
my
how did he end
uncle,
up there?
my uncle had his episode when he was about 16 years old. He stayed in his room for a year straight, and they found out something was wrong with him, and he started, being put in different facilities, and that was one of the first facilities that he visited as a young man.
And you said he underwent shock therapy in that?
He said that was the worst place he ever went to, that they had that he had shock therapy, and that the medications that they were using were just like out there. He said it was the worst place he had, and he's been like, and he likes hospitals. There was a certain point where he would go to the hospital like it's a vacation. That place was really, really bad. Yeah, that's the way he explained it to me. It's really messed up. And he's been to all these places around here, Northampton, pretty much every hospital in the area.
That's insane.
Yeah, Belchertown was messed up. Luckily, they just tore it down, and it's completely gone. It's a field now.
As it
And
should be.
yeah, because I mean, there was kids playing in there, and there's nothing but asbestos and chemicals and all kinds of bad stuff. And you got all these teenagers from the local area playing in there like it's a park.
Like it's a playground.
Wow.
Yeah, so they had to get rid of it.
That's wow. I've heard a lot about I've seen, I should say, a lot of YouTubers that go to like insane asylums and things like that, check them out after they've been shut down. I don't think there's any close to us. I know there's some in Canada that are still standing that aren't open, but I don't think there's any close to us. And the one that was close to us is now like they redid the building. It's still the original structure, but they redid the inside of it, and it's a mutual, like Gore Mutual. I don't know if you guys have heard of that in the States, but it's like a financial institute, insurance and things like that. But it actually overlooks a park called Sober Park. And that park used to be like the grounds that they actually let the patients out during the day for their daytime stuff.
Yep.
That was where we went with actually Walker Paranormal. We went with them and investigated that when it was like minus 32 out. And their cameras, everything, like their cameras, our cameras, everything was malfunctioning.
Yep.
Okay. And their camera actually, they had it off, and they took it out of their bag. And as they were taking it out of their bag, all of a sudden it snapped a photo. Keep in mind, it was off. It snapped a photo. and they actually showed it on their channel, but it actually caught something sitting in the water. Didn't even look human. It was like this creature thing just sitting in the water staring at all of us.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have to show that to me. I like to
Mhm.
see that. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
I think they have it on their Twitter, and actually, I'll have to bring it up. But yeah, it was a really good picture.
Hey, real talk.
They had them and us. We've got E.V.P'S. You could hear people, like, I live streamed when I was there.
Yep.
And
I remember. I thought you were nuts for going out in that kind of weather.
yeah, we paid for it. We froze. Like, we couldn't feel our hands, our thighs. Like, none of our body parts were. Yeah, it was not a wise idea.
The things we
We've
do
got
for
a place
YouTube.
over here. We've got a place over here. It's called Grandview Park. It's in Moundsville, and now it's pavilions, and they got a swimming pool up there, and they've got zip lining and all this stuff. It's like a big city park. But originally, the land was a poor farm. So if or you got arrested for not paying your mortgage, or you lost your house or something, they would literally arrest you and send you to the poor farm. And with the poor farm, you not only had individuals that whether they were disabled or whatnot, handicapped, you would get a lot of those people up there. Now, we actually did an investigation there. We didn't get a lot. We got a few E.V.P'S, but on the property that's now a park, if you go to the right area, there is a cemetery there, and there's no tombstones in the mowed area, but you could see where the ground sunk in, where the graves were, and outside the fence line, there are a few headstones still to this day, and that's not very far from West Virginia State Penitentiary, just a few blocks away. But yeah, we got some E.V.P'S up there. We got some, like the glowing eyes, but that was deer. There's tons of deer in that area. So, but you got some E.V.P'S, some shadow figures, stuff like that, but nothing really substantial. Nothing really stood out real well.
We have
we never really went back there.
We have an asylum here in Munson, Massachusetts that's so sewn up. It's like a dolphin's butthole. You cannot get into this place. It's patrolled by police. It has a no trespassing sign every 5 feet around the entire circumference of the whole property. I've never seen that before. It must have cost them $1 million in signs alone. But I've always wanted to go. I went there one time at night, snuck past the police, and I swear we heard people, like, say you were walking through the grounds, you would hear people yelling at you when it was open. And that's what it sounded like. It sounded like people were like, ah! It was scary, crazy. But there's definitely a big difference between a children's asylum and an adult facility, because the children's asylum, I felt so much more negative energy there. Like, it was just sad.
My windows.
It's insane.
It seems like the children's facilities, you had a lot more abuse too, because the adults who could tell on somebody, that risk was always there with those employees. But the children, who are they going to tell? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Who are they going to complain to?
There's a documentary. There's a documentary of Belchertown on YouTube. You could look it up. It's called, like, They Bleed, They Hurt, They Cry.
Yeah.
And in that video, you can see who actually works at that facility. Dude, they do not look like upstanding citizens. Like, they look like the bottom of the barrel. They couldn't get anybody to work there, so they got the worst people to work there. Like, not good.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I know my ex-father-in-law, and he worked at Trans-Allegheny.
Well, you think who wants to work in feces all day for low pay no, like back then they had nothing. They had no union, no benefits, it was bad. It was bad. So it was bad conditions. So you had to be pretty much desperate to take that job.
That's wow. I feel bad when it comes to like the old children's homes and kids asylums and things like that. Oh, something wrong?
Thought I heard somebody moaning in my house.
Weird. Yeah, Brian's over here and he's using his phone obviously because there's two of him on the panel. But he's using his phone and his phone keeps opening up random apps and he's not even touching it. Like it's literally sitting on the couch with the stream running and everything, and it just keeps opening up different things here and
Well,
there.
I mean, I have seen Aniki say that she's already heard whispering like 3 or 4 times, but I just didn't want to call attention to it. And
Yeah, she messaged me,
You know
and
what I mean?
I've been hearing it too. Like since I got these headphones, because Ghost knows we got new headphones, and since we've gotten them, I'm picking up a lot more. And I told her, I said, until I hear something absolutely clear, I'm trying not to acknowledge it right now.
yeah,
Because
exactly.
I
I don't want it to
don't want to repeat.
explode. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't want anybody getting hurt on this stream. Really don't.
I wouldn't
Really
wish.
my turn, though.
I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
I wouldn't either.
Not at all.
Not yet. No sleep yet.
And that was one of the things with like last week. But I the more I think about it, I think Lou's mic was open, and he was in the other room getting violently. We could hear it.
I was getting what?
You were getting ill. You were like
Oh, I
literally
was throwing up. Yeah.
throwing up.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
You could hear it. We thought it was some kind of demonic growling or something. Like,
You know what? But
I
just
went
to
back
be
to
honest,
listen to the
Ghost,
stream, and I was like, no, that was Lou. He was calling dinosaurs.
are you sure though? You sure I left my mic open?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah, yeah, he did.
But
Yeah, it
dude,
was-
I didn't last 5 minutes. Listen, I came to your stream feeling perfectly fine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Come in. We're about to have some, good time. A minute goes by. 1 minute. I start getting dizzy. The sweat starts coming down my head. The nausea starts kicking in. I'm trying to catch my breath. Instantaneously sick to my stomach. Didn't you say everybody got attacked that night?
Yep.
But except for me.
Yeah.
Except for you.
But see, that's
Except
not
for me.
100% sure, or 100% true because you may not have got physically attacked. But I remember the next day afterwards, I was telling Ghost, I said, I just don't feel like myself. I'm like, I'm really drained. I'm really dizzy. I'm not feeling well.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
Ghost
what I say. I was
yeah. Ghost was
yeah,
even
I was
saying-
drained. I was tired, but it wasn't like I had gotten scratched or hair pulled or choked or welts appearing on my face like everybody else.
Violently ill.
I just had
Or violently ill. Yeah.
my scratches just actually healed.
Yeah, Brian's scratches. His scratches actually healed.
That was a rough night. That was a rough night.
Bad. And that's the thing is like that's why we were trying not to bring attention to like the whispering and stuff that's going on because people in the chat are gonna think, oh, they're whispering. No, we're actually not whispering. We're not the ones whispering. Like you could definitely tell the difference between one of us whispering versus whatever else is going on.
Yeah.
Like it's been happening, like I said, the last 3 weeks in a row, like clockwork. Even now, whispering that we don't really want to acknowledge is going on, and we don't know what's going on.
Ooh, I think I hear thunder.
There was thunder here.
Thunder.
I know that.
Yeah, that's
That was Kel's. She dropped out.
yeah. We got severe thunderstorms coming through the area. It's going to be hitting us here in the next 10, 15 minutes. Actually, this one's just going to brush near us, but So there's a lot of energy in the air. You can feel the storm coming. Like, what happened? Somebody mute the mic?
No?
Oh, okay. You guys got quiet on me.
Sorry, I was answering a message from Kels. But yeah.
She said,
But
Yeah, I was so out of it that night. I could see me possibly leaving my mic on.
Well, see, and that was the thing is, I remember you got on here, you're fine, you were raring to go, and next thing we know, you're like, I'll be right back, and you took off, and you were gone for, I'd say, a good 5-10 minutes. You came back, and you were like, you couldn't recall anything. You're like, I gotta go, and we could hear you heaving, and we could hear you like you're just like,
You know what? Because you're freaking me out because I don't remember a lot of what happened that night.
The following day, you messaged me on Facebook, and you're like, did I even make it on the panel last night?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, you were up there.
I kind of, like, it's fuzzy for me. I kind of remember it. I kind of remember coming on the panel, but then I didn't know if maybe I just came into the chat and then I was imagining everything.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
no,
that was
you
a rough
like
night.
when you left. I heard you sound like you yelled at one of the kids or something.
Yep.
You said something about your kids, and went out of the room. And your mic was still on, but you had shut your camera off, or maybe you didn't.
Right.
I don't remember. But yeah, you were gone for a good while. And we carried on, and we just thought something was going on with one of the kids, and we was hearing in the background. And I was like, wow, what's that? It's like, and then after you came back, I rewatched the stream. I was like, oh, if he was getting that, yeah, that's him. That's Lou calling dinosaurs. So that was that one was kind of debunked, but we was getting voices, we was getting whispering and stuff coming through the microphones and things like that. Again.
Well, see, that's, I don't know. That's why we're going over to Walker's tonight to their house, because, like I said, since it all began, we tried debunking it by having them in our house to rule out our house. You know what I mean? And that didn't work because things went horribly wrong that night. Ghost was on the panel for that one. And tonight we're going to go over to their house and check it out and see what's going on over there, because their house is going nuts too. Like, at one point when they were on the panel, whatever was at their house and our house was literally whispering back and forth to each other over top of everyone's talking.
That's crazy.
Yep.
It was like, great, they're communicating now.
Nature's beauty.
Yes.
We
You were on the panel just long enough for me to play that clip, and then like right after I played that clip, that's when you got ill.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nature's beauty. Sorry, Lou.
I'm just saying I don't remember much of it.
Yeah, like Nature's beauty. She's like, where did it come from to affect us all? Basically, it can come from anywhere.
Well, listen here. I didn't get to tell you guys this. I'm kind of thinking, all right, so when I started doing paranormal videos, right from the start, the family of Morris Theriault, which was the guy in the beginning of the Conjuring movie, told me, Morris started out with the paranormal. Then it got crazier and crazier and crazier to the point where he was possessed. And then finally, the end result is he blew his wife's arm off with a shotgun and took his own life.
Wow.
Now, that's the basis for the movie The Conjuring. They didn't want to take any more cases because of Morris. Now, the other day, I got a Morris E.V.P. at one of the places I went to.
Yeah.
Ever since then, I think it's been like he's been around. It could have came from me to everybody. Not saying it did, but it could have. And if you watch The Exorcism of Morris, I've seen people jumping around and up on the ceiling and pea soup coming out of their mouth. This guy doesn't make one move. He doesn't make one noise. He's sitting in a chair. A priest is praying over him. his eyes turn to snake eyes, a crack opens in his forehead, his cheek starts to bubble like his skin is burnt. This is all in 1970 something, like 78, before there was any computer generated footage or anything like that. So you're talking about a very powerful demon. I'm hoping I didn't bring it on everybody. So,
Honestly, there's something that's been attached to me for a very long time. There was already something in the house. And given the fact that we do investigations and stuff like that, it's bound to amp up. It's bound to happen. You know what I mean?
Something's
Yep.
bound to come home either way.
well, what about this? Bad sticks with bad. So what if like all of our attachments are ganging up with each other? That
Which
would
is
be
quite
crazy as well.
possible.
yeah.
I believe that that would be possible. I mean, I've been attacked so many times and like in front of people where you could see me flying across the room caused by nothing. You know?
Yep.
And I have witnesses to it. So I fully believe that if they can attack one, I mean, there's power in numbers.
I'll be right back, guys.
Nature's Beauty says, "Oh, Demon said he'll get you all. Didn't it, Lou? Anyone in your contact?" And that's weird. I know Lou had come across. I don't know if it was a TV or where he came across it, but it had said it was going to get you all. When we were on a private call with Dad, it said "death you all." We did that one spirit box session in our house. Remember that
Yeah.
ghost? And it said it was coming for us.
We can barely hear you, JoJo.
Yeah, I know, because I'm muted.
Here, unmute.
No. Fine. I'll do it this way so it's not so loud.
There you go.
Why'd you mute? But like we've had it many times come across in private calls. We've had it come across shows. We've had it come across like just random streams that we've gone into that do this kind of stuff. We've had the same message come across. So it wouldn't surprise me. It honestly wouldn't. Ghost, you look like you're studying something.
I was reading the chat.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what it is? It's okay. So I got my main screen here, and I got my second monitor over here, and then I got the 55-inch on the wall right above the computer. So, that I'm monitoring the weather, I'm monitoring the chat, I'm monitoring the OBS, and I'm monitoring Hangouts, all on this big TV right in front of me. I'm looking up at the chat. I'm looking, that's the chat right there.
See, Nature's Beauty said, "I think there's a few demons working through all your connected streams." And
Yep.
I'd go for that.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
Ghost and I and Brian, we've been saying that for a couple days now. Ghost is like, it wouldn't surprise me because think about it, they use spirit boxes, which is electrical. They use any form of electricity or energy. So why is it so far-fetched that they could use this? You know what I mean?
Well, think about it. I mean, and science has been teaching this since we was in third grade, guys. Third grade. Everything that you do, every impulse, every movement is all controlled by an electrical impulse sent out by the brain. Yep. That's energy. That's electricity. Electricity does not die. It just changes form. When the body dies, that electricity is still in your body.
Yep.
Yep.
It form and do something else. Again, whether it changes to static electricity so it can travel through air or a magnetic field, either way, that is your soul. That is your essence. That's your being, Literally, when the soul leaves the body, that's it. That's the electrical activity in the brain stops.
Yeah,
and goes away. But it doesn't die. electricity does not die. And it will travel through any conductor, anything that will conduct electricity, it can travel through. Copper wire, limestone, quartz crystals, anything it can use as a conductor, it can travel through. Just the same way that your internet is connected to each and every single one of us.
And the same way that light, sound, and electricity all pretty much mimic each other with, they're all frequencies.
Exactly. And that's just it. You know, everything we taste, touch, see, smell, or hear. You know, they say if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it, does it make a sound? Well, no, because actually, technically, it doesn't make a sound even if you were there to hear it. It makes a frequency that's picked up by your eardrum and interpreted to your brain through electrical impulse. It's a frequency. Everything's a frequency. Sight frequency, taste, senses, all your senses break down into frequencies.
I don't know. It should be an interesting night tonight.
Right.
You guys did E.V.P'S
When?
tonight?
No. No. That's
This is
the name of the show.
Yeah, that's the name of the show. It stands for Every Voice Paranormal Stories.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of a play on words.
Yeah. But yeah, no. We actually stayed away from having the Ovilus on tonight and the recordings going and all that, just because when we did have that, it seemed to amp up more than just the regular. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, all that on.
Yeah, like when we had
I'm breezing through here.
When we had all the cameras going and the recorders going and the Ovilus going and the computers and our phones, everything amped up because there was more energy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, but yeah.
And then you got multiple households full of devices going off at one time, connecting people through millions of miles through the internet, which is just crazy because getting messages, like say I get a message from you, from your spirit box in Canada.
Yep.
How does that work? Where are the spirits? Are they in Canada? Are they here? Well, how the hell are they getting the message all the way over there in Canada? And I've seen it happen tons of times.
Electrical pulse. It happens.
Well, look at what happened when Ghost Dog died.
Yeah.
Okay, Ghost is in Ohio.
Oh,
Lou's
yeah.
in Massachusetts.
Right?
Lou got the
That was-
message.
Yeah.
Dude,
that
I
was-
had no clue what was going on. I had no
That was-
clue. Because I thought nothing was coming out. I'm like, yeah, this is silly. Dog, buried today, this, that. And I'm like, this makes exactly no sense. And then I get a call from Ghost. It all makes sense. Every single thing that was said. Like, and literally.
It said Mr. Mrs. Ghost Dog died, buried, soul renewed, innocence restored, or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? Wow. Like, just saying that now, I got chills from it. Like, it was so legit that it was crazy that I was actually watching Lou's stream at that exact moment after being, kind of down in the dumps. Maddie was 13 years old, chocolate lab. She passed away. We were all surrounding her when she passed. She literally just walked out in the yard, took her out to go potty, and she walked out there in the yard, laid down, looked at, she did her business, walked over in front of the stage that I built, looked up at Heather and gave her this look like, I can't do it anymore. And literally Heather looked down at her, said, it's okay. And she passed away right then and there.
I'm sorry, Ghost. She was an amazing dog by the looks of it, man.
Oh, yeah. And literally, after spending time with the family that evening, I just happened to get on. I seen Lou was live. I got in there, and he was doing that spirit box, and we heard that, and I was like, what the hell? So I texted him. I told him that it made sense. And then after we found out that that was verified and legitimate and all that, Lou starts smelling. He said it smelled like old feet.
Yes. Yes.
And I asked him, I said, are you sure it didn't smell more like wet dog? I mean, she was a chocolate lab. You know, she loved the water. She loved the water. And yeah, she would, you know.
It reminded me of like if you were to wear boots with no socks and then go through a river for a week.
Well, you got to remember, I've got a river running through my backyard.
Yeah.
It's a creek, but the dogs will play in it. And yeah, she's literally buried, what, 40, 50 feet away from the creek.
Yeah, that was crazy. And I've had it happen a handful of times like that where messages are just so obviously clear. It's unbelievable. That's why it's like when I get people that say, "Oh, E.V.P'S are fake. This is fake. You're a fake. That's fake." I've gotten to the point where it's like I don't even care. You can believe what you want.
The craziest part about that was one of those nights that I was just like kicked back. I wasn't even in the chat. I was just kind of lurking, watching the stream. And then when you said that, I didn't even type in the chat. I texted you directly.
Yeah, I know. Because I still didn't know what was going on.
I wasn't even in the chat that moment.
Actually, I really didn't know what was going on until we talked. Because you just texted me a vague text that said, it pertains to me. Then you had to explain it more like, listen, you had me read the words back. You said, read the words back. And I read them back. And you're like, all right, that's what this means. That's what this means. That's what this means. I was like, whoa,
I literally
crap.
texted you. I was like, our 13-year-old chocolate lab by the name of Maddie passed away today. We buried her in the backyard. And that's how I had to, I typed that to you in the text and you read that out and you was just like, oh, wow. Oh, ghost. I'm sorry, man. It makes sense now. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I'll have to find that live stream because I take my live streams down. I have to find that one. And because what I like to do is take little clips of really cool evidence. Never, if it's a live stream or video.
I actually did a screen capture on that specific part of it.
Do you have the title to it?
No, I just did it on my phone. For my daughter, and I sent it to my daughter.
Oh, I know which one it is. I know what it is, right? Without even thinking about it. It was messing around with these apps. Because I was messing around with the spirit box, or trying new stuff was the name of it.
Okay, so Brian, I have to let you know that we are buffering bad. Warsaw Patriot says we're buffering bad, and it's buffering on my screen too. This is what happened. This is what happened last week when it started buffering. And then I shut it down. Yeah, just beforehand, it started buffering really bad, just like this.
This is exactly what happened last time. It buffered bad, and then it went so fast.
Yeah, well, I thought it was my OBS, so I shut down the OBS and started a new stream, and that's when all hell broke loose.
Well, I don't need this again.
Right?
I don't want it again.
It is 11:06, guys. We do have to get over to the Walker's house, so we
we're right at that 2-hour mission. So
yeah,
for the safety of everybody on the panel and the safety of everybody out there in the chat, maybe it's time to call it. I don't know. It's up to you, Brian.
Yeah.
It's your show.
I think we should call it because I don't want anybody on the panel hurt. I don't want anyone in the chat to get attached from something.
Like Heather's already had something over her touching her and playing with her hair, and I got out the crucifix and put it on her, and she seems fine now. But yeah, things have already started to happen.
Yeah, over here we've got voices in our basement.
Not that it has anything to do with it, but I got a killer headache that just started to kick in. But
yeah,
I
think it's time.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad that we have to put a warning on E.V.P's now.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Every Thursday, it seems we're being attacked by something.
well, I mean, we bring it
I
up.
think
we draw
I
attention
think
to it.
we've called notice to it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's going, oh, okay, you know I'm here now. Now I'm really gonna mess with you, you know.
Yeah.
So I think next time we should just
Great.
ignore the
Ignore
little
it.
signs, just go for what we know, you know.
Yeah. I'm going to say goodbye on my behalf and sit in the background quietly and gather our stuff for tonight. But I want to say thank you to Murad, Calspam, of course, Lou, for coming up here.
Of course.
Thank you to everyone in the chat. And yeah, I'm going to fade into the back here.
All right, everybody. I want to
Much
thank
love.
everyone. I won't. Yeah.
Thank you,
Much-
Brian.
Thanks.
No problem,
Coming.
Lou. Thank you for coming on, man. I want to thank Murad for coming on. Kel's fam, thanks. I want to thank everybody for coming tonight and hope you enjoyed the show. But I'll let everyone else on the panel say their goodbyes before I have to end it. I know Lou Rock probably has stuff coming up. So does Ghost Mafia. So
I just want to say thank you to Brian for having me up on the panel, and much love to everybody in the chat. And be getting with you soon. That's all.
no
And
problem.
guys,
Lou.
if you want to grow your channel and things like that, tomorrow we will be doing a networking stream over on my channel. I'm not sure the time, so just watch for it. But I think we're going to go an extended period again, like we did last week. Trying to get the watch time hours built up a little bit. So, guys, come on over, network. If you see somebody in the chat that you don't recognize, hit that bar, ding that bell, drop a like on one of their videos, and leave them a comment. They always get back to you. And we'll see you over there tomorrow.
Now, what time are you doing that tomorrow?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay. Because I know 11 p.m. Eastern time, Aniki and I are going to be starting up a new show. It will be age restricted, hence why it's at 11 p.m. We have not decided if it's on her channel tomorrow or my channel, but watch the channels and keep an eye on that, guys.
All righty.
Yep. Bye, everybody.